Do you think you could survive 7 days on nothing but cereal and milk? Well, I'm alive to tell you the tale. I know some dudes survived on Taco Bell, but the menu and nutrient variety is so much more than the dairy and carbs I signed up for. I hope you enjoy this recap of my crunchy and creamy food challenge.
What is the cereal challenge? It's 7 days of straight cereal and milk. So that is 21 straight meals of only cereal and milk. Let that sink in. Why do the cereal challenge? When I was a little kid and they would ask, if you were on a deserted island and you could only have one food, what would it be? Cereal, all the way. So I'm testing that theory. Can I really go an entire week?
Before we get started, let's settle the rules.
Rule number 1, only cereal and milk for the 7 days, 21 straight meals, and snacks. Rule number 2, cereal is defined by corn, rice, wheat in the box or the bag. No mueslis, no granolas, just standard cereal. Rule number 3, milk is defined as dairy from a cow. I'm excluding any of the almond, oat milks, anything of those varieties. No yogurt, just dairy milk. And I'm actually going to be doing vitamin D whole milk. Rule number 4, this is not a diet, so I can eat as much as I can to be full. So I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to limit myself. Eat until I'm full. Rule number 5, snacking must be cereal. It can be dry or it can be chocolate milk or regular milk. However, snacking must be cereal or milk, cereal and milk. Rule number 6, no additives. I can't add protein powder or meat or veggies or even fruit on top. I've only made one exception, and it's a syrup. It's a cereal syrup because it's specifically made for cereal. Other than that, no additives. Rule number 7, mixing cereals is okay. I'm usually a purist and I don't mix cereals, but that's okay. I just can't mix in foreign items like additives. Rule number 8, it doesn't need to be eaten in a bowl with a spoon. So again, I can snack with a hand or drink a glass of milk. Rule number 9, I can eat whatever cereals I want. I don't have to eat a new one each meal. However, I am bringing in a ton of variety, so I probably will eat something new every time. And finally, rule number 10, I need to track my metrics, weight, glucose, and I'm also tracking how much I'm eating. I'll be getting a volume of cereal that I'll be able to share, and then we'll be able to calculate calories based off of that. Those are some simple rules, but rules are necessary.
What does preparing for 7 days of cereal look like? You have to stock up your inventory and start leaving boxes in all types of places because 21 straight meals and any snacking that takes place needs to be cereal and milk. I have some healthier versions, some sugary versions, and some variety. Preparing for all day, everyday cereal. Got some in my backpack just in case I get hungry at work, driving around. This is gonna be interesting. Here's my eating. So what brand of cereal am I gonna start this challenge off with? Go back to the OG, my first love. We got the Lucky Charms. I love Lucky Charms and it just brings me back to my past. No better way than to start with Lucky Charms. I am the president of the Red Cap fan club. So good. Only way to do it. Excellent. This is either the greatest challenge or the worst challenge. I'm either gonna come out still loving cereal or hating it. My first choice was Lucky Charms. What would be your first choice if you're kicking off a cereal challenge? Day 1, meal 2, we're gonna do some Reese's Puffs. It's still pretty early in this, but I'm feeling pretty good. I did Reese's Puffs because I think that peanut butter feels like it's a protein. Reese's, thank you. By the end of the day, I got pretty dang hungry. I'm eating Raisin Bran. That should be a lot more filling. We'll see how it goes. I've been doing pretty well though because I'm used to eating so much cereal and carbs and milk anyway. Doing pretty good. This is meal 3 of 21, first day. Day 2 of the challenge, meal number 4. I'm trying Nutty Buddy. Have you had this cereal? Oh, smell test. I'm sorry. It almost achieves that Nutty Buddy flavor. Almost. 5 out of 10. This is a perfect way to mix up the cereals during my cereal. I'm glad I tried it. On day 2, meal 5, simple bowl of Cheerios today. I've been quite surprised that my stomach is really good. I thought the lactose intolerance would start to become an issue. However, if you think, if I'm only eating cereal and milk,
then I'm not eating cheese and butter and other dairy things throughout the day. So it kind of evens out. One thing I've also been doing is I've been drinking more water this week than I have probably for years and years. I drink a ton of soda and other things. And so I may actually lose the weight and feel healthier throughout this challenge. We'll see. It is day 2, and I'm gonna be using this Crunch Cup. Have you ever used one of these? I'm gonna take it on the road because I have a pizza event that I'm going to, so I can't eat at home. But we're gonna be filling it full of tricks and going on the road. So this has a little place where you add the cereal. It's almost exactly a cup in there. I measured it. And that goes on top. Can you see the larger hole right there? So the cereal can come out. And then there's a smaller hole, like a sippy cup area for the milk. Add some milk in there. Put this back in. So there you go. It's got the tricks, milk. You just let that flow into your mouth. It's the Crunch Cup. We are at day 3, so this is meal 7. This is breakfast. I'm gonna do some Cocoa Pebbles, but can you see my bowl? This is not a glitch. Can you see how there's that shelf? So what it is you pour the cereal on here, your milk in here, and slowly scoop it in there, and you get crunchy cereal every time. Let's try it out. So you have cereal on this side. I'm gonna pour the milk on this side. And then you can scoop in just a spoonful. Scoop in a little bit more. Always crunchy. Be careful using this with Captain Crunch and other really sharp cereals because it could be very painful. I feel like I'm on that reality series Alone where I'm just talking about my food and going over my thoughts because doing a journey or a challenge like this alone is just a funny thing. You're just eating cereal. That's it. Today we're doing Crispix. They're not necessarily my favorites, but Brooke really likes them. Corn, rice on one side. Little update on my glucose levels. Nothing is spiked. Everything looks fine. Pretty surprised about that. As for my weight, I've consistently lost 1 pound for the last 3 days. I don't know if it will continue. We'll see. Headed into Stirrs. I have Christy here from Stirrs, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's available here and what's popular, what's delicious, and maybe some of the ins and outs. Inside the store, what is this wall right here?
This right here is my seasonal wall. It changes a lot. We have 22 different flavors that are seasonal. All of my 70 flavors do rotate throughout the year and they change, but this wall changes the most.
70 flavors. That's crazy. So what are some of the seasonal ones in winter right now?
Oh, I just barely put in the Nutty Buddy.
Okay.
And it's super good.
We've tried that
really,
one.
really good. And then this one I filled in last night. It's the IHOP mini pancake. It's blueberry and syrup.
I just barely bought a box of that. I like that one actually. I can see a few of them that are my favorites. I love Fruity Pebbles, obviously. S'mores, so good. Pops. I haven't had Pops for a while, and I need to do that now, right now. So Chrissy did say that not everything is super sugary. So we have a wall here that is healthier.
It is. My son's favorite, crackling oat bran.
Okay, I've heard from a lot of people that crackling oat bran is the thing to try. So that's the one that I was going to try tonight because I've had a ton of sugary cereal. I wanted something that was a little bit healthier.
Yes, so. It is good. It is really good.
Winnie here. Winnie's getting some milk. You got to push it up, sis. There you go. So we always do whole milk, and I know a lot of people can't drink whole milk. So what other milk varieties do you have?
We have soy milk, almond milk, and lactose-free milk.
In our fruit for the day. This Special K strawberry has been such a treat. Overall, we love Stirrs. It's one of the best experiences for cereal. You don't need to be in a cereal challenge to love it either. There are so many varieties and so many fun things to do. Perfect for families, and honestly, it's delicious. Cereal, cereal, cereal. We are on day 4 of the cereal challenge. This is breakfast, so this is gonna be meal 10. We're gonna be eating blueberry muffin toasters. This is a classic cereal that I haven't had for years. I found it in the grocery store because they brought it back. Look at these blueberry bites. Can you see the blueberry bites on that? So good. This is definitely one of the best cereals from Multimil. I was given one of these syrups to try. Blueberry flavor. This is something that you're supposed to put on cereal. So cereal syrup. Let's see how this works. Okay. Yeah, it's really enhanced the blueberry flavor. They also have a strawberry that I'm gonna try, and I'm pretty excited about it. So it's day 4, meal 11. So we're halfway, but things are getting a little real. Let's say that. I'm going with the Cheerios Oat Crunch Cinnamon, one of my favorite cereals, but I'm really not that hungry. I'm kind of in that weird spot, maybe this is TMI, where I eat cereal and I get bloated, and I know I'm hungry soon afterward, but I'm not hungry because I feel bloated. So I've got that weird feeling going on. Honestly, this is getting tougher than I imagined. These next 3 days will probably be pretty rough. But here we go. We are day 5, meal 13. We're gonna be eating some classic Golden Grams. It's even the retro style recipe, which to be honest, I don't really love as much as brands like Mom's Best. Have you ever tried their Golden Grams? They're so good. We are day 5, meal 14. I'm ready for this to be over. Doing Golden Crisps. One of my favorites usually. Just don't feel like eating it. All right, here we go. Lunch. Day 5, meal 15. I'm doing Fruit Loops. I've recovered a little bit from my down earlier today. I'm gonna get my sugar high and be happy for the rest of the night. You know, to be honest, I haven't gotten tired of cereal yet. And I don't know if I will by 7 days. Definitely not gonna stretch it past 7 days, but I don't think I'm gonna get tired. I bet I'll be eating cereal within a few days after this challenge is done. We are day 6. This is meal 16. We are nearing the end of this cereal marathon. Today I'm going with cinnamon or Cinnagram Toast Crunch. I think the best of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch varieties. Overall, I had a couple bites and I'm not tired of cereal. I think it's still pretty delicious to me. A few things that I would relay are affecting me. It's a little bit harder to get up in the morning because I don't have a ton of energy. Then I get really tired quickly at night because I just don't have the energy and I'm not getting filled really fast. And I can't eat and eat more cereal to get that energy. And so it's just that interesting conundrum that I'm experiencing. But overall, I'm doing better than I expected. One more day until we're done. Today is day 6, meal 17. We're in the last stages. Pretty excited. So I brought Winnie on. She's gonna eat some cereal with me. We are eating the Cheerios Oat Crunch Cinnamon. This is the first repeat that we've had all week. I think I need to go get some more cereal. So I'm gonna go to the grocery store right after eating this and we're gonna go get some more cereal, some different types, maybe some protein filled ones. I feel like that's the biggest deficit right now is I feel like I need a lot of protein. So let's take a bite. What do you want to bite?
Yeah.
We are headed to Good Earth Markets again to find some new cereals. Checking out the variety. A lot of good variety. Okay, Winnie, you get to choose one for me. What one you doing? We're doing Spark Strawberry.
Yeah.
Okay, put it in the cart. That's what I'm gonna do. I want this banana one. I want to try this banana.
And now can I pick one?
Yep, you can pick another one.
Okay. La 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 la.
Oh, of course.
I like this one because I like the pictures.
The pictures, but guess what? It's also really delicious inside. I am so hard up for protein right now. I'm about ready to try this Fruity Pebbles and the Cocoa Pebbles protein powder. Just throw it on top, right?
found it.
Oh, Winnie did find it. Brooke's making fun of me. It's day 6, meal 18. I have Kuna Pops. It's chia and quinoa. It's a superfood cereal. Banana. We'll try it up. I wanted to get a variety. We'll see. I tried it without milk. I know I wasn't too excited about it, but trying it with whole milk, it's not that bad. It's a very strong banana flavor. The only thing I don't like about it is it's almost like a ripe banana flavor. I like green bananas. It's day 7, meal 19. We are in the final hours of this challenge. I am so excited. I'm calling today the eve of normal food because I am so excited to try normal food again. Although, I'm pretty excited about what's going on here. I'm eating Rice Krispies. One of my favorites, obviously Rice Krispie treats, but I actually eat Rice Krispies plain all the time with whole milk. It's delicious. Today I am applying a syrup, which is a cereal specific syrup. This one's blueberry, but you put it on instead of sprinkling sugar. Makes sense, right? Because you can add the flavor. So we're gonna just apply that syrup on. If you can see how that works. I mean, it's basically like most other cereals that as you pour milk in, it kind of disperses out, mixes a little bit with the milk, and it becomes more of a flavorful experience. It's a good way to mix it up, and it's cereal specific. I, in the very beginning, decided not to put any real additives, but I made an exception because this is a cereal specific syrup, and it was kind of a fun try. I definitely can see the appeal, especially if you want to dictate the flavors in there. So instead of going to a Fruity Pebbles that are really one major flavor that you're eating throughout the bowl, if you wanted to add a little bit of the blueberry, and they also have banana, and I also have a strawberry, you're able to mix it up. So I see the appeal, I really do, and I think this is something that a lot of people would use, especially young kids that want to mix it up or try different flavors. Brooke is stealing my lunch.
I love Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, but this is my lunch. Fruity Pebbles are the next one on my list. Day 7, meal 20. I'm feeling a lot of good energy, a lot of power, but I think it's just the excitement of being done with this type of one-note challenge. It hasn't been as hard as I expected, and I feel like my body has actually really adapted well. And that kind of scares me a little bit. I feel like some people talk about intuitive eating, and I think that could drive people in the incorrect direction just because they feel like they're trying to listen to their body. But bodies adapt, and bodies are good at making things work. I mean, your kids eat cereal and carbs and things all the time, and it's hard to get them a lot of protein. And it's the same thing. I feel like my body's just preparing itself, knowing what it's getting, and it's going to utilize every little bit to make sure that it's functioning at a level. So that's nothing against intuitive eating. That's just an interesting thought. But overall, I am glad that I did this. I'm glad that I took the time to do a challenge. I've always wanted to do one, and it's always been on my list. And I'm glad I did it. It was a New Year's resolution to do, and I think I'm going to do more in the future. I'm not sure if I'm going to do 7-day or 30-day or how I'm going to do them, but a 7-day cereal only challenge was something that was super unique that people aren't trying, that I wanted to see if it would work, how I would feel. And look where I'm at. I'm still alive, still functioning. Anyway, for my meal, I'm doing Fruity Pebbles. Saved one of these favorites for last. Just love how much of a kick this cereal is. It's just every bite has tons and tons of flavor. And I know it's proliferated into many and fusioned into other foods, but I still love it, and it's still one of my favorites. So, I'm gonna just kick back, pour me some cereal. Gotta get some milk in here. And finish this out. I'm gonna maybe recap and do some questions a little bit later on. This meal sucked to not be able to eat. They all enjoyed it without me. I just want to pop on and say these are legit good. Gluten-free, vegan, I like it. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. I'm going to do a quick recap of some of the questions that have been asked. The first question, has it felt socially isolating to not share meals with friends and family? And I would say yes. That was a low for the week, definitely. I felt as I went along, it was hard because I was eating a lot of things different than all of my family. And I know a lot of people that do cuts or other diets feel the same way. And it is isolating. One of the low points was Sunday dinner. That was my last meal. And everyone had this warm mashed potatoes and roast dinner that my wife had made. And I'm in the corner just with this cold bowl of cereal. And it was isolating. So that was definitely a low. Next question. Did I feel satiated? I did. And the weird thing about eating cereal is you get that bloated feeling with so much dairy and even grains. And so I felt bloated, but satiated at the same time. But that would all go away pretty fast because then I would get hungry soon after. So I felt satiated, but it would drop off pretty quickly. Would I ever do this again? Yes. I felt like this is such a fun adventure, and it gave me an opportunity to talk with people and associate with people that have wanted to do fun food challenges in the past or have wondered if I could survive on cereal and milk. And the question is yes, for 7 days at least. But it was super fun, and I will probably do another 7 day challenge. Probably won't be cereal, but who knows? Pizza and soda, chips and salsa, tacos, who knows? You know, you could do a breakfast taco, lunch taco, dinner taco, dessert tacos. Possibilities are endless. Did I lose weight? Overall, I did lose weight, but that was never the goal. I went into this not thinking it would be a cut diet. I wanted to go in and more or less just try to see if I could survive on cereal and milk. And I did lose weight, but I think a lot of it just had to do with the amount I would have to eat to continually eat those calories. And it was hard because I just felt a little bloated. And so I probably skipped some of those snacking periods or other times that I would be eating just because I just didn't feel good. How often did you feel sick? Daily. So I felt sick almost every time I ate, but I felt as though that was a good way to just know that I was full for the period of time. I tried to just eat some dry cereal so it wasn't adding in additional dairy, but that didn't always help. And the sugar was probably the thing that made me the most sick. Some of those bites of cereal were so sugary because I had had everything sugar before, and that was probably the most sick that I felt. What was my average blood sugar? So I know there are a lot of people sensitive to this, and for good reason. So I'm not going to share numbers. I am going to just share a graph. What I did is I tested before breakfast for my fasting period, before lunch just to see how my body was kind of breaking down, and then before I went to bed, making sure nothing was spiking. And all of these were more or less just a safety measure. They weren't necessarily to really track the blood sugars or to show a spike when I'm eating sugary cereal. I don't want to necessarily promote that. There wasn't anything out of whack that I felt that I was in serious danger, and that was more or less the reason why I wanted to do it. What was my least favorite cereal? Nutty Buddy cereal. I felt as though at first the big poofy pieces were good and crunchy, but they broke down super fast and became really soggy. And the flavor never really achieved a good point. It never tasted like Nutty Buddy, not the little peanut buttery aftertaste. And so it just kind of tasted gross after a while and was pretty soggy. So I would say that was my least favorite. And I don't know if I'll finish that box. What was the hardest thing? I would say the hardest thing was the mental game that I went in knowing that I would be eating only cereal and milk, and it was only cold meals. So cold cereal and cold milk. I really missed that hot meal and some of the protein and the variety. So mentally, it was just hard to stay in the game knowing that I could only eat that. And even nixing soda out of my diet really threw me. I really love soda, diet soda, just to kind of mix it up and be like that sugary dessert. And it just was hard to not have that carbonated bite every once in a while. What cereal did I eat the most? I would say the cereal I ate the most was Raisin Bran. Sometimes after that bowl of cereal I would eat, for variety, I would finish it off with Raisin Bran just because I felt more satiated when I ate it. Obviously, with that bloating and whatnot, because I eat Raisin Bran with a ton of milk, it was difficult, but at the same time, I'm not tired of it. I could have a bowl of Raisin Bran right now and still love it. What's the easiest thing that I thought would be hard? I think just eating cereal one after another would be really hard, but to be honest, the variety was there and that seemed really easy. It was more of just like the mental game that I was talking about that made it difficult, but the cereal varieties were just abundant and I really love that cold milk crunch, and so it was satisfying. I just wanted something warm. I just wanted something that was savory, salty. So what is my first meal after the cereal? So I got a breakfast burrito that had sausage, egg, and cheese, and it was delightful. It was at a local taco shop, and I loved it. It just tasted so good, and it really filled me up, and I'm still feeling good after that. We're going into Paco's Tacos to get my first meal that's not cereal. It's gonna be a sausage breakfast burrito from Paco's Tacos. Yum. I am so excited for this burrito. Are you excited, Baba?
Yeah.
Oh man, I think I have gone to frickin' heaven. Look at those sausage, cheese, and egg bits. And potatoes. Wow, hot breakfast, A+. I'm so happy. Another thing, because I cut out soda and other drinks, the first thing I drank was apple juice, and it was so delicious. Just that tartness, the sugary drink, and that wasn't milk. I was craving that. Every time I'd pour a glass of apple juice for my kids, I just wanted to take a little sip, and it was so satisfying. What's the best part and the worst part? The best part was it was a fun, super engaging opportunity for me to talk with people and have people come up to me and ask me about it. And the worst part was my last meal on Sunday when everyone was having this hot meal. We were all sitting down together and I was in the corner eating my bowl of cereal. Definitely a low moment. Yes, I did weigh in before and after. Again, it wasn't necessarily to cut calories. It was more or less just to see where this would lead me. And I'm glad I did. It was a good indication of what an all cereal or an all carbs diet could do. Is there a cereal that I won't eat? I would say, and this is going to be a little controversial from the cereal club that I have going on, blueberry muffin toasters. I would love them, but they're just so sugary, so I don't know if I can really do it again. Last question, was it worth it? Yes, I honestly have loved interacting with people. I loved everything that's come out of this. I want to do it again. Probably not cereal and milk, but I want to do something else. So fun, so engaging, and it just showed what your body can do. It can adjust. I'm not saying it can live on cereal and milk forever, but it can adjust, and you should listen to it. Thank you for joining this adventure with me. I'm going to have more adventures to come. Stay tuned. Donut Critic signing out.